Hi, I'm Terry. Thanks for joining me today for some farming tips. Today we're talking about creating a working calendar, an invaluable tool for new beginner farmers, gardeners. So let's say your seeds have arrived. We talked about the information that should be on a seed packet. It includes a lot of information on how to start it and when to start it. And that is, should we seed start early inside to give a jump on the season, or is it better directly seeded outside? When your seed packet arrives, we take that information and we compile it into a notebook. And this is a way that we're doing it the old-fashioned way, the manual way. I think it's a great way to do it, to learn it. But there are great apps out there now that guide you through this and put all this information together, asks you some specific questions about your seed variety and all these dates, and then spits out the work. There's so much information, especially when you're talking about starting 300 different varieties of food each year. But let's talk about how the apps do it too. So we want to know when we should seed start it, and if it's seed started inside or direct seeded. And we can, as the seed packet comes, start compiling that information in a notebook that takes you through your year. Let's say it's a calendar notebook, and each page is a day in your year, or if you only have a small garden, each page is a month in your season. So I'm just going to talk about how a green bean section, because it's an easy one, might look on my calendar. So green beans are direct seeded in my area, probably everywhere, because they're a big seed. They grow so quickly. We don't want to mess with that extra step of seed starting inside. And I know in my area, the frost-free date is the 15th of May. This is a big star date. This helps me, guides me with when things can go outside or not. Beans are sensitive to frost. So my first direct seed planting outside wouldn't be till the week of May 15th. So I'm going to say this is my first bean planting, and there's of course all different kinds of beans. So this is just in general. So I also know that once I plant my first beans, I'm only going to plant enough if it's just for my family or if it's for my farm stand, as much as I need for 2 weeks. And so every 2 weeks, I am going to plant beans again. And instead of me trying to remember when that date comes while I'm in the thick of the season, I'm going to create this workload on my seasonal calendar. And I'm not going to stop growing green beans every 2 weeks until 56 days before the first frost, because I know this variety of bean takes 56 days to reach maturity. So what other information could I add to the bean information? Well, I could count forward 56 days for each of these plantings, and I could even mark planting 1, planting 2, and mark the harvest to follow, planting 1 and planting 2, planting 3, up to planting 10 even. Now, some other things I know about beans is in my area, we can get a little trouble with beans in July time frame, fly problems that munch on them. So I might make a little note in that time frame, look for this, be on the watch for this. If it's something I want to fertilize, I might note when the fertilization schedule could go on there. I use compost teas, so I can accumulate this information for every single planting I'm going to do, as well as any other work that I do routinely, into a notebook that will guide me through the entire season. That's what a working calendar is. And though it's not written in stone, it will eliminate a lot of thinking and worrying at night when you're talking about being a small farmer or a large gardener. You have kind of your template set up for your entire season, and you've learned a lot about your plants while doing it, and I think it's a win-win situation. And then when you get really comfortable with how your season runs, get an app and put all that information in and let it spit the information out, what you should be doing today throughout your growing season. So, tips from Terry: a working calendar is invaluable for beginners, small farmers, and beginner gardeners.